The house that wasn't. You've spent months planning the perfect family trip. You've rearranged work schedules, changed dates, and paid for a house that sleeps 13. And now, your sister, who already made you move the trip so her daughter's boyfriend could play golf, is saying she can't come. But here's the thing, she still owes her share of the rent. This isn't just about money. It's about trust. It's about keeping your word. And it's about the moral line between flexibility and exploitation. It started in December 2025. You and your husband began planning your annual summer vacation for 2026. You wanted your parents, your siblings, their kids, everyone. But finding a house that sleeps 13 isn't cheap. So you made it clear from the beginning, everyone pays their own portion. No exceptions. Then your sister asked if your youngest niece's 17-year-old boyfriend could come. But she wanted you to move the trip because he had golf nationals during your original week. Your husband said no at first, everyone had already arranged work schedules. But when your niece personally called and asked, he agreed. You moved the trip to the week after Memorial Day. You knew your sister had a history of backing out. So during the family vacation meeting, you made it very clear, if anyone cancelled, they would still owe their portion of the rental house. Everyone agreed. Later, you privately told your sister you were worried she'd back out and not pay. She assured you there was no way she'd miss the trip because your oldest niece's 19-year-old boyfriend planned to propose during the vacation and wanted her help making it special. She also said she'd have the money because she planned to use her tax refund. That was enough reassurance. You booked the house, paid up front, and gave everyone deadlines to reimburse you. Later, your sister mentioned she had received her tax refund. You asked if she wanted to go ahead and pay her vacation portion while she had the money, but she said she needed it for other things and promised she'd pay by the deadline. A few months later, she introduced you to her new boyfriend of 2 weeks and immediately asked if he could come too. Your husband said no because the house had a maximum occupancy of 14, and you were already full after adding your youngest niece's boyfriend, the same boyfriend you changed the dates for. Your sister argued he could sleep on an air mattress, but your dad explained you weren't comfortable having a stranger stay in a house full of family and small children. That's when she casually announced that she, your nephew, your youngest niece, and the boyfriend weren't coming anyway because she didn't have the money. You reminded her she still owed her portion because you had all agreed that backing out didn't remove responsibility for the cost. She said times were hard and she didn't think she'd end up broke before the deadline. You reminded her about the proposal plans for your niece and said she shouldn't miss it. Her exact response was, "Oh, it's fine. She probably already knows about it anyway." You also pointed out that you changed the dates of the entire trip to accommodate your niece's boyfriend's golf schedule, and now none of them were even coming. She replied, "I don't know what you want me to do. I do not have the money." You're left with a house you've already paid for, a trip you've rearranged, and a sister who's backing out last minute. But she still owes her share. Is it fair to hold her accountable? Or is it cruel to demand payment for a trip she's not going on? The moral dilemma is clear, you want to hold her accountable for her share of the housing, even though she's not going. But is that fair? Or is it exploitation? Aftermath: you've already paid for the house. You've already rearranged the trip. And now you're left with a sister who's backing out last minute. But she still owes her share. Is it fair to hold her accountable? Or is it cruel to demand payment for a trip she's not going on? Moral debate: the moral line between flexibility and exploitation is thin. On one hand, you've already paid for the house and rearranged the trip. On the other hand, your sister is struggling financially and can't afford to pay. But she agreed to the terms. She knew the consequences of backing out. So is it fair to hold her accountable? Specific judgment CTA. So, what do you think? Is it fair to hold her accountable for her share of the housing, even though she's not going? Or is it cruel to demand payment for a trip she's not going on? Here's the expanded narration to append to your script, bringing the total to over 1,500 words. Family reaction section: the moment your sister dropped the bomb, "We're not coming. I don't have the money," the room went silent. Your parents exchanged glances, your other siblings shifted uncomfortably, and your husband's jaw tightened. Your mom, ever the peacemaker, tried to smooth things over. Maybe we can adjust the budget? Or she can pay later? But your dad, usually quiet, spoke up. We set rules for a reason. If she doesn't pay, it's not fair to the rest of us. Your other siblings were divided. One brother, always the pragmatist, said she knew the deal. If she can't pay, she shouldn't have agreed. Your youngest sister, though, whispered, but she's struggling. Maybe we can help her? The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. That night, after everyone left, your husband turned to you and said, I don't care what anyone says. She owes us. Period. You nodded, but inside, doubt crept in. Was holding her accountable really the right thing to do? Or were you just being stubborn? Counterargument from the other side. Your sister's side of the story, when she finally shared it with the family, painted a different picture. She argued that life had thrown her curveballs, her car broke down, her hours at work got cut, and her boyfriend, the new one, not the golf-playing one, had unexpected medical bills. I thought I'd have the money, she said. I didn't mean to let anyone down. She also brought up the fact that you'd changed the dates for the trip already. You moved it for my niece's boyfriend. Why can't you understand that sometimes plans fall through? She even suggested that maybe the family could pool money to cover her share, framing it as a test of loyalty. If we really care about each other, we'd find a way to make it work. Your parents, torn between fairness and family bonds, started pressuring you to let it go. Your mom said, she's your sister. Blood is thicker than money. Your dad, though, stood firm. Rules are rules. If we don't enforce them, what's the point? Evidence details to make sure you weren't being unreasonable. You dug up the evidence. 1. The agreement. You had text messages from the group chat where everyone agreed that backing out didn't remove financial responsibility. Your sister even replied got it when you outlined the rules. 2. The tax refund. She admitted she'd received her tax refund months before the deadline. When you asked if she wanted to pay early, she said no, insisting she'd have the money by the due date. 3. The proposal excuse. She claimed she was needed for your oldest niece's surprise proposal. But when you confronted her about it, she brushed it off. She probably already knows. 4. The new boyfriend. She tried to add him last minute, even after the house was full. When you said no, she didn't argue, she just said they weren't coming anyway. The evidence stacked up against her, but the emotional weight of family loyalty made it hard to stay firm. Aftermath. The trip happened without her. Your oldest niece's boyfriend did propose, without your sister's help, and your niece was overjoyed. The house was full, the memories were made, and for a week, everything felt normal. But then the bills came. The house rental, the groceries, the activities, all paid for, as promised. And then your sister texted you, hey, I was thinking, can we talk about the money? You replied, you still owe it. The rules haven't changed. She didn't respond. A week later, she stopped answering your calls. The family group chat grew quiet. Your siblings stopped bringing it up, but the tension lingered. Final moral debate. The real question isn't just about money. It's about trust. If you let her off the hook, what message does that send? That rules don't matter? That family loyalty means enabling bad behavior? But if you demand payment, are you being cruel? Is it fair to hold someone accountable when they're struggling? Where's the line between standing your ground and being unforgiving? Your husband says, she made a promise. You can't let people walk all over you. Your mom says, family is more important than money. Let it go. Who's right? Specific judgment CTA. So, what do you think? Should she pay her share, even if she can't afford it? Or is it time to let it go for the sake of family? Here's the question to weigh. If your sister had paid her portion on time, but then lost her job and couldn't afford the trip, would you still demand the money back? Or does the timing of her financial struggle change things? This isn't just about a vacation. It's about whether fairness or family comes first. And that's a line even the strongest bonds can struggle to cross.